one of the most challenging circuits on the World Tour calendar, a firm favourite of fans and drivers alike. That's right, we're back at Vila. The sun is still shining and we have got round 9 of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour just around the corner. My name is Paul Jeffrey. I will be up here in the commentary box, and down there on the grid, as always, is our very own Alex Le Gui, enjoying the beautiful atmosphere ahead of what should be a very, very entertaining race indeed. This is the reverse grid top 10, the second race of the weekend, and as is tradition, before we go down onto the track and start racing, let's head down with Alex Le Gui, who's got our grid walk for this afternoon.
Bon dia, everybody. Hello and welcome to an absolutely bustling grid down here in the streets of Villarreal. Race 1 delivered, my friends. Jan took an incredible launch off the line to take the lead from Mikel Ascona, who has had incredible pace. An interesting race. The strategies really worked, and the Joker laps really paid off. Proof that they're working. Came to the penultimate lap. Mikel took his second Joker lap, which meant that Jan came through and crossed the line, taking his first win since China 2025. Geely Cyan Racing were absolutely delighted, of course. Not only did Jan finish on the top step, but teammate Santi Urrutia was also on the podium. So, very, very happy Geely Cyan Racing. BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corsi, my goodness me, they're having an up and down weekend, but they were, of course, happy with their podium as well. So, here we are, the grid for race 2. And I tell you what, this is where the drama is going to happen. This is the reverse grid. Before we get onto our grid, we've got our Secretary of State, Pedro Diaz, here. Welcome. This is something else, isn't it?
Yes, it's great. It's fantastic atmosphere and fantastic public. We have a great passion for motorsports in our country, and it's great.
What does it mean to you to have the World Tour here?
It's really important to the country. Our Portuguese Federation, along with the municipalities, in this case with Villarreal, are working a lot to have these competitions being placed here, attracting thousands and thousands of people, which is great, and demonstrate the passion that we have.
Well, we can tell it, we can feel it, and thank you for having us. The fans, the stands are full. Come this way. Let's see who we can have a little chat to as the boys start to head down. So, Jensen Brickley is sitting. Nobby Michelitz is poleman for this race. We'll have a chat to him when he arrives. But this is Jensen's opportunity. This man has had so much bad luck this season, but here he is on the front row of the grid for what could be the most tricky race and the most important race for a lot of our drivers this season. Right. Whew. What did you learn from race 1 that you can now put into play for race 2?
Yeah, we didn't quite have the car underneath us that we thought we were going to have. We made some changes, so hopefully we're going in the right direction. I'm quite confident. I think, again, if we can play the Joker strategy right, I don't see why. There's no reason why we can't be on the podium.
What's the strategy conversation been like between race 1 and race 2?
I think, to be honest, it's one of those that you can't really plan until the moment, without knowing how far the person is behind, how far the person is in front, or where you are. It's so hard to plan. I think it's one of those in the moment decisions which it makes it better, to be honest. So yeah, it's good.
Have a great race. Stay out of trouble, Jensen. All right, Norby's arrived. Let's go and have a chat to him. I tell you what, these mechanics in BRC have worked so hard over the last couple of weekends. Earlier on, Mikel had brake issues when he was sitting in this position here. Nobby Michelitz, we've seen him have a drive shaft issue. We saw the team working incredibly hard with a drive shaft or steering issue last round. And here we are. Finally, Norby, this could be redemption race for you. You've had a lot of bad luck this season, but here you are sitting in pole at a circuit that you know very well, you know is very tricky. What are your thoughts?
I'm very positive for the race, to be honest. Car felt good yesterday in qualifying. We struggled with technical issues. Also, pace in race 1 was good. Joker strategy was good. Important thing now is to have a clean start. I mean, I will do my best. I know Jensen is quick off the line, but I have the inside, so I try to have a good momentum, defend the inside, and then let's see what happens.
Good luck. All right. So, good. All right. Could be a real opportunity for Norby Michelet. So, obviously, the reverse grid, the top 10 reversed in qualifying. So, in theory, usually that means that the slightly slower drivers tend to be further back. In qualifying, therefore, they get a chance in race 2 to be at the front. That's why we can potentially have the drama, because you've got the faster drivers that are going to try and come through. Norby Michelet is, of course, not a slow driver. Jimmy, you had a very tricky race 1. Car is all fixed, sorted, ready for race 2?
Yeah, for sure. I'm on the grid, so actually all my guys did a fantastic job. They had a lot of work, not on the first impact with Berg, but in the second one. All the front right was totally crashed, and also on the rear left, because my car jumped a bit, and when the car go on the track, something broke also. So happy to be here, happy to be on the grid one more time, and I have to enjoy all the lap that I will do. So.
Did you enjoy the bits that you did do in race 1? Because I know that you were really excited about racing here. Was it fun? Terrifying.
Yeah, terrifying, but so exciting, and look at all the crowd, and that's amazing, and doesn't matter. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to be racing in TCR, and I have to enjoy.
We love having you. Come on, let's keep going and squeeze through. Ted Bjork. Let's have a chat to him. Right, you are in a very good position here, sir. Race 1, a bit of drama.
Lots of drama. Not what we expected at all, actually. So that's it. Villarreal, unforgiven. A really great place, but the track is unforgiving.
Now, you know this track very well. You certainly know it a lot more than the two in front of you, bar Norby, of course. With what you've learned from race 1, what do you feel now that you need to do for race 2?
Don't overtake. That's really important. Only do it in the jokers.
Don't hit the walls. Don't hit the drivers.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like you've got it nailed.
I have a plan, so let's see if I can do it. Yeah.
What's the strategy? Oh dear.
It was in the wall.
Look.
It still works. They put it together.
Okay. Oh, all right. Okay, there's not a problem. I'm intrigued by it. So, like we know, any strategy plans that you guys may have had leading up to race 1 went out the window, right? I'm guessing that's the same for race 2. But what sort of things did the teams talk about in between the two races in terms of strategy?
The thing is, you can anticipate and try to see how the jokers will fall out, but you really can't, because all the other teams have a different idea than you.
Yeah.
So that makes it really difficult. And as we only do it on this event, it's like more stress for everybody. But it's a fun part, because otherwise it would not be possible to overtake. Yeah, so it's a fun part, but we've been discussed it a lot, and then let's try it.
You have driven here when there was the solo Joker lap. Now we introduced the 2 Joker laps. Do you feel like it's worked?
Let's see after this race, because I only did 1 yet. I never tried 2.
I'll ask you after. Have a great race. Now, I'm not sure how long I've got left. I still have time. All right, another one. So Victor Anderson has won every ETS guest trophy that he has gone for. He's been on the top for the ETS driver. Sorry, Victor. Right, this is a real opportunity for you to potentially get up onto the podium. But what are your thoughts? Is it full attack, or do you have to bide your time and just play these streets a little safely and carefully?
I think the start will decide a lot, so let's see after the start. But yeah, like you say, starting 5th is not so far away from the podium, so let's see.
You seem to be on fine form, and the car was obviously had great pace in race 1. How much does that affect your mindset now, having had such a clean race 1 and a great result?
Yeah, race 1, it was great to get under the belt, knowing that we can stay with the really top guys and get the first touring car race here around. So I know
how it feels. So yeah, just more confidence, and really looking forward to do the best of it.
All right, fingers crossed. I have no doubt we will see him back on the top of the ETS podium once again. All right, let's see who else we can talk to. So, Mikel Ascona, coming into this weekend, Santi Urrutia was leading the charge by 3 points, I believe. However, once again, tell you what, this year is good because every weekend we do, the championship standings are switching. Mikel Ascona is now the championship standings leader, and he is leading by 6 points over this gentleman here. All right, here we are. So, starting a lot further back, we know historically race 2 can tend to give us rather a lot of chaos. What can you realistically do from back here?
Podium, I think. As long as we get a good start and along, you know, as I said before race 1, now we are really in the chaos. So we really need to play a team game with the Joker laps. So I think we have a big chance. I mean, we saw Ted could move from the back in race 1. He had a crash, but we can be quick. As well, I have Jan behind, and then I think Mikel as well can be fast because he had an issue in race 1.
Yeah.
So we got to be very careful on Mikel. But just try to do a good start and try to move forward. But the main thing is to be safe and to bring the points home. But I think we can get the podium.
To what extent are you thinking about the championship standings?
So far it's looking good. You know, we are second, only a few points behind Mikel, and it's just not even the 50% of the championship. Will be only 9 races after this one, so still 11 to go. So it's okay. It's been good, but we gotta keep working like this.
Have a good one. Stay safe. So we were predicted some rain, but I can safely say that there is no rain cloud, and it feels extremely hot. All right, my friends, is this redemption race for Norby Michelitz? Can he finally take a win here in Villarreal? Let's see what happens. I think this one might be a chaotic race. Let's see what happens. Race 2, vamos!
Thank you very much, Alex Le Gui, down there on the grid ahead of this round 9 of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. And if you saw round 8 a little bit earlier on today, you had an absolute treat, didn't you? Really, really entertaining race. Fantastic performance from Jan Erlichey. His first victory since China 2025. However, it wasn't all about Geely Cyan Racing. Mikel Ascona, good job up there in second position, just ahead of Santiago Urrutia and Marcin Hua. Norby Michelitz, absolute recovery drive of the stars for 5th place, starting from pole position for this reverse grid top 10 race number 2. It's going to be a big opportunity for the 105. As you can see on your screen, around the same kind of atmospherics as we had for race 1, 22 degrees centigrade air temperature. It's a pleasant day in Portugal. Track temperature about 39.9 degrees centigrade. So comfortable conditions on track. It's going to get a whole lot more uncomfortable though in a few moments' time, isn't it? When the World Tour field commence battle and head down into that T1. Who's going to make it through the first quarter first? What will happen with the double Joker lap? We saw that one in race 1, didn't we? A big divergence in strategies. Some going earlier, some leaving it right to the very death. The other ever-threatening spectre of safety car interventions as well muddies the waters somewhat. That'll be interesting to see what our teams and drivers have learnt from the opening race. Will there be any outlier strategies? If you're the likes of Norby Michelitz, you're the likes of Jenson Brickley starting up front, you're going to want a clear run. You want to dictate the strategy to those behind. Never quite as easy as that one, though, is it? As Jenson Brickley, there he is now, getting ready to go racing, staying as long as possible outside of the car, talking to Katie, his girlfriend, just preparing. It's very, very hot. We say it's only 22, which poolside is wonderful. In your full fire-resistant overalls, can be rather warm indeed. Jenson often wears a cool vest, try and keep himself, very fit young man of course, tries to keep himself in premium condition possible. And you absolutely need that one here at Villarreal. One small mistake, one slight let-up in concentration, and before you know it, hello barriers, and it's the end of your motor race. We've seen that one already from a few drivers, Mathieu Casalonga being one of them. Unfortunately, the French driver, the Team Claret Sport in the Audi, will play no further part in the weekend. Too much damage from race number 1. There is Claret Sport. Jimmy and Teddy sharing the car this season, aren't they? Of course, Jimmy and Teddy Claret. Was a victory last time out, in fact, which was absolutely incredible stuff. Driving a Cupra, though, was Teddy on that occasion. Jimmy's back again in the Audi this time. Didn't have the luck. Contact with Ted Bjork. That got Ted a 3-place starting grid penalty, hence the reason he's not on pole position. We'll talk about that one as the show unfolds. But for Jimmy, he's got some pace in that Audi. He's got an opportunity as, if you wanted to see anything through the flares, sat in there. Unlucky you. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Really wonderful to be back again at Villarreal. An incredible circuit, as I said at the top of the show. Fan and driver favourite for sure. And with the introduction of the Joker laps, it actually produces some good racing too now, which is a double win. There's our former world champion Ted Bjork. Face a picture of concentration, is it, for Ted? He's got a lot riding on this weekend. He's dropped now to, where is he? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th in the championship standing. 69 points behind Mikel Azcona for Bjork. Started off so positive, didn't it? His 2026 campaign. A bit of misfortune in the last couple of rounds. And before you know it, positive momentum can start slipping backwards. But from 4th on the grid, 111 has a big opportunity to move forward. And he needs to. He absolutely has to, does Ted Bjork. It's the opportunity for him to score some big points. Victor Anderson, I think Alex mentioned that one, didn't she? Down there on the grid. He's wrapping up the ETS Guest Star Trophy Awards. Basically every time he participates, is Victor. He's taken the ETS Guest Star each and every round that he's been in so far. He'll have an eye on that one, of course, but starting from position number 5 for Victor Anderson. May have his sights set on slightly bigger fish over the course of this next 14 laps plus change. There we go. Couple of minutes past 5 local time here in Portugal. At 5 minutes past the hour, we'll be under green flag conditions and we're racing. Just a couple more minutes to go. Clearing of the grid then. 14 Kumho FIA TCR World Tour cars will take to the start of this one. Daniel Teixeira will not be taking part on home soil. As mentioned, Matthew Cachalonga. Too much damage on the Audi to get that car off the grid. Jean-Carl Vernet as well. Should have been here this weekend. He's still recovering from a training injury. Best wishes to JK. Same for Raphael Fournier. After effects of an incident last time around. Not able to shake those off in time is the Frenchman. So himself and team manager, team principal, Julien Brichet, also unavailable to make it for this weekend. Best wishes to Rafa as well. Hopefully recovers quickly. And we see him back out again. So 14 cars will do battle. Noah Michelis leads the field. Manuel Fernandez is at the back of the grid. Fernandez had a bit of a time penalty as well, unfortunately, which dropped him to the back of the field on home soil. Crossing the activation line too many times for Fernandez. And the Joker lap last time around. He's going to start at the back, but he is running in this race, and that's great work. So he's got an opportunity to move forward. Again, home soil for Fernandez. He lives in Villarreal. Friends, family, all here supporting him. Collectively keeping our fingers crossed for the Portuguese. He has a good run on home soil. Jan Earlische is going to be one to watch, isn't he? 8th on the grid for our race 1 winner. Masses of pace, despite the 30 kilograms compensation weight aboard the Geely Cyan Racing 168. Earlische from 8th on the grid can move forward, and let's have a look at that grid for round 9 of the World Tour. Norbert Michelis alongside Jensen Brickley on the front row. Jimmy Claret and Ted Bjork make it an Audi and Geely 3-4. Jimmy Claret and Ted Bjork came together in race 1. That'll be interesting for seconds. Victor Anderson starts in 5th alongside Aurelien Comte, Santiago Arruti, Jan Earlische 7th and 8th. Marcin Khoa will be 9th. Mikel Azcona rounds out the 5th row of the grid. Enzo Gianfrate will be next up, and Mikael Carlson. Stian Poulsen 13th. Matthew Cachalonga, as mentioned, won't be starting this one. Daniel Teixeira is the same. Manuel Fernandez is effectively the last man in the field in 14th position, despite being classified 16th on the timing screen. So there we go then. We know who starts where. We know that this is going to be 14 laps or around 60 kilometres of racing. We're well aware by this stage that there'll be not 1 but 2 Joker laps that need to be undertaken. And just to clarify, Joker number 1 from lap 3 to lap 7 inclusive. After that one's been taken, can take the next one whenever you want. We saw a few drivers doubling up, didn't we? Take the joker, then follow it through and take it again straight after. That works. If you're in the middle of the pack and you've got nobody around you, if you're at the front of the field, it becomes significantly more complicated again. That's the quandary. And Noah Michelis will have to ponder. Jenson Brickley as well. He was one of those that did the double up, wasn't he? If memory serves me correct, in race 1. Be interesting to see how he found that one in terms of success. Drivers' points on your screen. Pay no attention too much to those. They're all going to change at the end of this one. But just for the sake of academics, it is a 6-point advantage to Mikel Azcona from Santiago Urrutia at the head of the pack. 48 apiece for Noah Michelis and Jan Ullrich in terms of deficit. Both of those drivers, though, are starting well up. Norby on pole, Jan down in 8th position. Hearty hatful of points they're expecting to gather, especially with Azcona in 10th on the grid and Urrutia in 7th. If you're the likes of Norby in pole position, this could be a very, very pleasant day indeed for the BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corse driver. However, it's an old English saying, don't count your chickens before they're hatched. I hope that translates globally, but what it basically means is don't start banking those points before you've even finished the race, and that's exactly the mentality that each and every one of these drivers has. It isn't over till it is absolutely over, and often it's never quite over then either. A lot of motor racing between now and the checkered flag, and those fans trackside have a very entertaining race right in front of them, about to be undertaken. Looking forward to this one then, folks. Don't go anywhere. Do not adjust your television sets. This is the reverse grid race number 2 in the World Tour, and you know what that means, don't you? Yep. Chaos, drama, controversy, excitement, and a whole lot in between. Looking forward to this one. Quick looking down the timing tower then. Who do we need to keep our eyes out for? Mikel Azcona in 10th position. He's bound to be a very strong proposition away from the line. Tardy in race number 1. He's got a bit of making up to do off the line in race 2 from 10th on the grid. It'll be very, very important indeed. Jan Ullrich, car 168, lining up in 8th position. Vital again for the Frenchman. Needs big points, needs to charge forward early, but crucially needs to stay out of trouble. Absolutely no points will be awarded for saying hello to the barriers. So Ullrich has a difficult task in front of him, doesn't he? He's going to be one to keep an eye on. Santiago Urrutia as well. 7th position in car number 181. Santiago will fancy the victory. Triple winner in Valencia, of course, earlier in the season. If he can make hay early doors in this race, put a bit of real estate between himself and teammate Ullrich, and potentially that minimises the need to play strategic games for this double joker lap. Final car then rounds the final corner to line up on the grid, and we are just moments away from action here at Villarreal for the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. The halfway mark in the season is here. The green flag waves then at the back of the field. Pay your attention to the lights. They're all going to go on. They're all going to go off. And we get loud, we get leery, and we are go for the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour round number 9 here from Villarreal. And at the head of the pack, Norbert Michelis gets a beautiful start. But take a look at Jimmy Clary in the black Audi. Thinks about a look on Jenson Brickley, not quite able to make it happen. Clary slots back into 3rd position. Ted Bjork keeping a watching brief in 4th. Victor Anderson, Aurelien Comte stay as they were in the 2 SP competition Cupras. Bjork to the inside, has a look on Clary, no opportunity on this occasion, and the opening few corners are nice and clean for the World Tour field. Everyone makes it through, led by Norbert Michelis. Great opening few corners then. Clary having a little think about Jenson Brickley, more in defence realistically than attack. Ted Bjork though, for good measure, has Victor Anderson glued to the rear bumper. What has happened to Norbert Michelis? I'm just having a quick look where Norby is in the running order. Some strange reason I'm not quite seeing that one. Looks like he's behind. Sorry, not Norbert, Mrs. Mikel Azcona, my mistake. That's why I can't find him. There is Mikel, just ahead of Marching War. So decent start then for Mikel. 1 position gained away from the line. Spanish driver, though, has Marching War for company as well. Enzo Gianfratte keeping a watching brief. A few car paces further back in the 3rd of the SP competition. Cupras still just in the competition. But looking a bit further up, it is All eyes on our top three. Jimmy Claret holding the bottom step of the podium. Ted Bjork looking very interested indeed. And look at Victor Anderson really trying to climb over the back of the Geely Cyan racing machine. Victor Anderson, early stages of this motor racing, are definitely fall in the way of the Swedish driver. He's pulling along Aurelian Comp for good measure. Santiago Urrutia, Jan Erlichey both have a little bit of fresh air in the background too. Keeping a watching brief, not too engaged at this moment in time is Santiago, just seeing if something can wash out ahead of him. See if an opportunity presents itself, and for Norbert Michelitz, an opportunity to go very quickly indeed has presented itself. Last time around a 2 minute 3.0, 1 second quicker than the chasing Jensen Brickley. This has been a dynamic start for the Hungarian driver, but can Norby pull a gap? This is crucial. Let's not forget the start of lap 3, the beginning of the next lap is when the Joker lap window will open for the World Tour field, and then they will have an opportunity to serve their first Joker. If you're Norbert Michelitz, you're going to hope and pray that Jensen Brickley continues to hold the pack at bay. Brickley doing inadvertent, great bit of work for car number 105. Doesn't have the pace, does the Honda at this stage, but so far he's the cork in the bottle. Jimmy Claret would dearly like to crack open that bottle of champagne, but he can't quite get it done just yet. All the Frenchman can do is apply the pressure. Jensen Brickley continues to soak it up like a sponge in that second position. Let's have a look down the running order. Any big winners or losers then from the opening laps? Marcin Hua lost one, drops down to 10th position as the Chinese driver. We already covered that one though. Mikael Azcona sneaking his way up into 9th place. Come back to that one though, because have a look at this one. Jimmy Claret absolutely on fire, on the tippy toes in the Audi. Has a look to the inside of Brickley. Brickley has just enough headroom to get that one covered off the Honda. Nippy in a straight line it seems here at Villarreal. A little bit squirrely though into the chicane. Locks the inside wheel. All the cars avoid the barriers. Jan Erlichey kissed that one, didn't he? Yesterday in qualifying. No problem though for our top three. Jensen Brickley survives. Jimmy Claret though looking very quick at this stage. But pace is one thing. Finding an Audi-sized gap to fit himself into is an entirely different proposition indeed. Advantage Jensen Brickley for now. Through the roundabout we go. Then you saw the Joker lap on the left-hand side. That is still closed to competition until right about now, as lap number 3 is hit. And let's have another look at the race start from a few moments ago. Most important part of the motor race for Norbert Michelitz, and look at that one, absolutely picture perfect from 105 at the front of the field. Mikael Azcona a little bit further back gets a much better start than in race 1 in the Hyundai. He's down in 10th position though. You can see them, look at the top of your shot. There's a couple of Geely Cyan racing cars in his way though. Azcona couldn't take advantage from that initial early launch. Middle of the pack, several drivers jostling for position. The two SP competition Cupras came very close together. Victor Anderson though still holds the advantage, and back to the live pictures, it does look like the Swedish driver is able to cling on to this podium battle, isn't he? There we go, number 10 flash through your screen in 5th position. Victor Anderson still very much in this conversation. Jensen Brickley 2nd, Jimmy Claret 3rd. Then Ted Bjork. There is Victor Anderson. And look at Claret through the chicane, monstering the curbs in that Audi. Absolute night and day the difference between himself and the Honda of Jensen Brickley. JB though just about has enough gap for now. Jimmy Claret is going to have to be spectacular personified if he's going to find a way past number 246. He's got plenty of time to do it though. Still got another 11 laps in the books. And it is still Norbert Michelitz. What's the advantage now? 2.4 seconds for Norby. This is getting increasingly close to be able to serve the first of his two Jokers without losing that race lead. If Norby can pull that one off, it will be an absolute masterstroke. Jensen Brickley starting to come under pressure from Claret as well behind, isn't he? There was a small mistake for the Englishman. Jimmy Claret though doesn't have the real estate in fight. What's happened to Jimmy? Jimmy's serving then his Joker lap. So is the SP car, so is several of our drivers. There is Mikael Azcona as well, so early doors for the Joker lap for several of our drivers. That's going to be fascinating to see where they shuffle back out again. I'm surprised by Jimmy actually on that occasion. Obviously feels he can go A little bit quicker than Jenson Brickley, I would agree with that one at this moment in time. So where's Jimmy shuffled back out? 5th place then, according to the timing screens, just ahead of Victor Anderson. Jan Earlshay down there in 7th place as well. He's ahead of Santiago Arrutia. Mikel Afkona stays in 9th place. We saw him briefly serving his Joker lap as well. For some reason that name always escapes me in the heat of battle. Joker lap, it's not hard. There you go, Paul. So, highest up of the running order for those that have served their first of 2 Joker laps is Jimmy Claret in 5th position. Victor Anderson went with him, as we saw on our screen. So Victor stays in that 6th place. Good manoeuvre, I think, there for Jimmy Claret. Freed himself up from the Jenson Brickley cork. And look at this one. Ted Bjork took about 3 seconds, didn't he, to close up that gap vacated by the French driver. And now he's climbing all over the back of Jenson Brickley. Jenson is going to have a bigger part to play in this motor race than even he recognises. He just doesn't have the pace, does he? And while Brickley stays on the track, that opens the door for Norbert Michelis. If Norby goes any time now, he's going to easily clear the ALM Motorsports Honda Civic. This is absolutely perfect for Michelis. What he doesn't need is a safety car intervention. That would be a disaster for the Hungarian. And so far, he's playing the strategic game. Nervous times then here at Villarreal. Ted Bjork desperately wants to find a way past Jenson Brickley. If he finds a way past the English driver, game on for a victory challenge. If he can't, Ted is going to start getting swallowed up by the pack of drivers behind, currently led by Jimmy Claret, as those who have served their Joker lap. There you go. That is our race leader, Norbert Michelis, serves the Joker. Jenson Brickley does the same as well. JB drops behind Bjork, as expected. But Norby, that worked out. Thank you very much indeed for Norby. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Doesn't lose the race lead, stays at the head of the pack, and he's got 1.4 seconds over the chasing, and yet to Joker lap serve Ted Bjork behind. Brilliant stuff then. Bjork is the only one of our front runners. Okay, match that one with Jan Earlshay that hasn't served their Joker lap. Marcin Kvar has served both, unbeknownst to us off camera, in 9th position. So again, Mar taking the same strategy that worked well in race number 1, didn't it? Well, it's working well again for Marinor. That's a shame. Feast and famine for Mikel Afkona. He's had all the pace in the world, hasn't he, in 2026? Hasn't had the fortune, though, that goes with it. A mechanical issue then for the BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corse driver, and they'll hope to get it fixed again quite quickly. There's still a chance for points here for Mikel. There's only 14 running cars, and we pay points down to 15th. So if you can stay in the race, then you've still got a big opportunity indeed. Norbert Michelis has a big opportunity. He's leading from Ted Bjork. Bjork has closed that gap now to 1 second. So he's found 7/10 over the course of the previous lap. But don't forget, Ted still has to serve his long lap, as does Norby. The Joker still awaiting for both drivers. Norby's already served one. Ted's still got to serve both of them. The only one that's served 2 is Mikkel Karlsson in 13th, and Marcin Kvar, who just moves up to 8th, past Jimmy Claret actually off camera. So Jimmy in some kind of strife. Why is that one? Falling down the running order actually is the Frenchman. Oh, no, that's bad news. That's Stian Poulsen. That's big contact for Stian Poulsen. Massive contact, in fact, for the Vannin Motorsports Audi driver. That might explain why Jimmy Claret was disappearing down the running order. If you're Mikel Afkona, Norbert Michelis, get in and serve it. Yes, there we go. Michelis gets in. So does Ted Bjork as well. So does, in fact, everybody. They all know the safety car's on its merry way. So they're trying to get in there and serve their Joker before the safety car boards are called. I assume they did so, although I don't have visual evidence of that one. We couldn't see it from that camera angle. But if it did, Norbert Michelis has just pulled a masterstroke and has just served his second and final Joker with the race lead, with Ted Bjork in second, who's still got to serve his own Joker lap. This is working very, very nicely for our double Kumho FIA TCR World Tour champion, Norbert Michelis. Not too bad for Ted Bjork. The safety car will hurt him. He's still got to serve his next Joker, as does Jan Earlshay. Ooh, that's not good for Jan down in 6. Right then, we're under safety car conditions because Stian Poulsen's been off. Let's have a look what happened. So here we go then. This is Manuel Fernandez Jr. That is Jimmy Claret. We saw that one on the timing screen. So Jimmy was in some kind of drama. What happened to Stian Poulsen? So there is Jimmy back under his own steam again. Some kind of mechanical issue for Jimmy Claret, and ouch, something altogether more fundamental for Stian Paulsen. Big contact. We didn't see the start, but we did see the end, and that does not look nice on the Vanin Motorsports Audi. Okay, so I'm just hearing then from our broadcast director, the driver is okay. So that is good news. There is Stian Paulsen out of the car. Great stuff. Glad that Stian is fine. Big looking cracks, a lot of damage then on that Vanin Motorsports Audi. Would love to know how the car found itself there. It's a very peculiar place to end up, isn't it? Stian Paulsen. Really, real shame. Real shame. At least, though, he's okay now out of the car. What it does mean is, with 6 of 14 laps in the books, we're now under safety car here at Villarreal. We can extend the race distance by a maximum of 2 laps, should the director decide that is necessary, which of course it will be. So we will go up to 16 laps. The window for the safety car, the window for the Joker lap can be extended as well, but having looked down my running order, everyone's served their mandatory first Joker lap anyway, so we don't need to worry too much about that one. There's Jimmy Claret. You saw him going slowly on track. He's going even slower now, stationary in pit lane. That's a real shame for Jimmy. A weekend that promises so much for Claret Sport, didn't it? Ends up being not really worth the airfare of getting over to Villarreal. Heart goes out to them. Lovely family, great couple of guys, Jimmy and Dad as well. Really lovely family, always come all together with the wives and girlfriends. Not quite panned out on that occasion. At least the car's not in the barriers, though, like Stian Paulsen. He normally runs his own Audi. Very efficient with the funds, is Stian, of course. Doesn't want to waste any unnecessary funding. Well, he's just backed the Vanin Motorsport car into the barriers, so he's not going to be the flavour of the month, I'll have to say. Sure, Luke Sargent's having kittens down there in pit lane on his track. Right then, I just see that Alex has managed to find a very disappointed Jimmy Claret. So let's head down to Alex Legui, talking to our latest retiree from this race.
A very disappointing result, Jimmy. What happened out there?
Gearbox issues. I don't know if it's coming from the race 1 crash or something else. I don't know. But since the very first lap, I had some trouble with the third gear. But I can drive like that. And in the last lap, all is totally break. And I have to retire. So
really bad luck. Yeah. Really bad luck.
Bad luck indeed there for Jimmy Claret. Out of this race, unfortunately, Stian Paulsen as well joins him in retirement. Mikel Azcona, by the way, we saw him in pit lane, didn't we, with some kind of mechanical issues. Looks like that car's back on the racetrack, so timely safety car intervention for the Spanish driver. Mikel Azcona still running 1 lap in arrears to everybody else, but classified 12th in the order. If it stays that way, there'll be 5 more championship points coming his way. Stian Paulsen tries to assess the damage. Trust me, mate, that one is well and truly done for the day. Real shame. Still not quite sure exactly how Stian Paulsen came to blows, but good work from the stewards. Right then, speaking of which, let's have a look at some replays of the dramas that we've seen so far in the first 6 laps of this race. Away from the line then, we all predicted chaos down into T1, but the World Tour field behaved remarkably well at the front of the field. Norbert Michelitz got away best of all from the line. Jenson Brickley in second position would become something of a rolling roadblock in the opening stages of the motor race. Jimmy Claret was most alive of the front runners through the opening few corners, the French driver holding on to third position. However, as we've just seen, his weekend would fall apart very quickly from this moment onwards. With the entire World Tour field navigating their way through the Villarreal streets, there is the 121 Jimmy Claret with an undiagnosed mechanical issue. While that car was running slowly on the racetrack, a similar Audi of Vanin Motorsports, driven by Stian Paulsen, was going significantly faster until unfortunately it wasn't. Contact with the barriers for Poulsen, heavy hit on the rear of the number 34, and that's the reason why we are behind a safety car intervention, as the marshals here at Villarreal continue to do outstanding work to clear up the circuit and get us in a fit state to go racing again. That's not a car in a fit state to do anything whatsoever, apart from its best DeLorean impression from Back to the Future 2. That is a very, very heavily damaged and also slightly scarily loaded Stian Poulsen van in Motorsports Audi on the back of the snatch vehicle. Good work to get that one cleared out of the way very, very quickly indeed. And hopefully we can continue in a now elongated 16-lap race. Norbert Michelitz is the race leader, and absolutely outstandingly, for Norby at least, he managed to get both of his Joker laps under his belt before the safety car came out. What that means is he now has himself and Jenson Brickley with Ted Bjork in the middle. Ted still needs to serve his second and final Joker lap. This is looking rather nice for Norbert Michelitz at the head of the field, isn't it? Car number 105 would very, very much like to take this victory. Will be second one in 2026 if he can see it over the line. With 16 laps in the full race distance and only 7 in the books, there's a lot of motor race now between the checkered flag and this moment in time. Norby still has work to do. Ted Bjork has a whole load of work to do. As you can see, lining up is the 111 for the safety car restart, and that will be coming at the end of this lap as the BMW prepares to pull in. Norbert Michelitz will become the effective race leader. He'll dictate the pace, and he'll be the one that decides when to hit the loud pedal and restart this motor race. Slowly does it then for car number 105. Norbert Michelitz waiting for the appropriate opportunity, and there we go. It hits the loud pedal. Everything gets a lot more leery, and we are back underway for round 9 of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. Lap number 7. We're about to start lap number 8 of 16. Norbert Michelitz is your race leader. Ted Bjork in second place. Jenson Brickley keeping a watching brief in third. Remember, Bjork still has to serve his next Joker lap. Jenson Brickley, though, has to think about it to the inside, doesn't he? Can't find a way past on this occasion. Look at Victor Andersson in 4th position. The Swedish driver, I incorrectly said Victor has won all of the ETS Guest Star Trophy Awards. Of course he hasn't. He's won the last 4 in a row. This will be number 5 if he can take it again. Didn't get the victories at Mazzano, but Victor Andersson definitely has a hand and a half on that trophy this season, doesn't he? And he's doing a stout job in 4th position, applying pressure to Jenson Brickley in 3rd. 2 former TCR Europe drivers, Andersson in TCR Europe this year for Monlau Motorsports. Jenson Brickley, the reigning champion, and they're taking it to each other on the world stage. A little look for Andersson. Can't find the inside line. Brickley holds on for now, and while they're squabbling, Norbert Michelitz, Ted Bjork are starting to pull away at the front of the field. Big pressure then for 246, Jenson Brickley. He's going to be well aware now at this stage in the motor race, isn't he, that he just doesn't have the pace of the front runners. Look at Victor Andersson through the chicane. Andersson, all of the speed. The Honda is getting gobbled up by the Cooper behind. Aurelien Comte sees his new teammate, enjoys watching his new teammate. Would dearly like to be in front of his new teammate. The 107 has a little think about it, can't quite get alongside. Andersson holds on in 4th. Jenson Brickley soaking up the pressure. He's going for this one, is Jenson. He's on a big push. Is number 246. Remember, he's in 3rd position, but Ted Bjork ahead still has to serve his second Joker lap, so this will be second if Jenson can stay close enough. That's the big question, though. Bjork can serve his Joker whenever he wishes. If he wants to leave it to the final lap, that is entirely within his rights to do so. He's already served number 1 within the mandated window. So Ted Bjork keeping an eye, half an eye on strategy, half an eye on the racing action a little bit further back. A couple of drivers go and serve their second long lap. Who was that? I'm not quite sure. Actually, looks like Manuel Fernandez possibly, and Jan Earl maybe. Earl still in 6th position. It would have been early, wouldn't it? No. There is Jan still on the racetrack. Keeping a very close eye on Aurelien Comte. This is a nightmare for Jan, isn't it? He's the biggest one of our front runners. Jan Erlichey, currently in 6th position, still has one of his jokers to serve. Not good news for the Frenchman. He's going to get gobbled up by the pack, I feel, if he's not too careful. There is Jensen Brickley. Still holding on. Victor Anderson. What was the lap times last time around for Jensen? A 2:02.4 versus a 2:02.2 for Ted Bjork. So we can see visually, as well as on the stopwatch, Brickley dropping back a little bit, although he does seem to have stemmed the flow somewhat, doesn't he, over the course of the last tour or so of the Villarreal track. Definitely, though, the cork in the bottle reminder. Ted Bjork in 2nd, needs to serve his joker lap. Jan Erlichey in 6th, also. Manuel Fernandez in 9th, also need to serve their joker laps. Fernandez not going to have too much trouble down there in 9th, doesn't have too much company. But Erlichey and Bjork are going to be very, very vulnerable indeed. Through the chicane we go again. That's where Jensen's struggling, isn't it? That is where they definitely see the advantage of the Cooper of Victor Anderson. Much, much more in an aggressive stance over the curbs. It works through the chicane for the next section of corners, though, for Victor. Not quite so much. Aurelien Comte starting to get into this one as well. Aurelien holding on to 5th place so far. Not wanting to try anything. There's Jan Erlichey's joker lap. Now served, done and dusted. We can see the Frenchman rejoining. That drops him down behind Mar and Santiago. I've got a feeling, though, that Mar and Santi won't fight too hard if the team decides Jan will be better placed ahead of them and back up into his 6th position. So Erlichey, bit of a get out of jail free card on that one, I think. He's now served his long lap, so it is just... well, in fact, the timing screens for the longest time told me that Jensen Brickley had done 2 jokers. He's now changed. He's only done 1. So Jensen Brickley was looking good in 3rd, make that 2nd position when Ted comes in. Well, it doesn't look like he did serve that 2nd joker lap, so Jensen Brickley in a bit of trouble as well, isn't he? 2:46 then, needs to get his skates on somewhat and close up to the back of this leading duo, otherwise Brickley is going to get swallowed up by the pack as well. JB in 3rd position, Ted Bjork in 2nd, he's got to serve his. Ted doing everything in his power to try and build a gap to the chasing pack. It's going to be a big ask, though, isn't it, for Ted? Where is he going to reinsert himself? I've got a feeling it'll be in that trio of his teammates, and that won't be good news at all for Bjork. He's really needs to find a little bit of pace. 6 laps left in this motor race, make it 5.5 as they're already halfway around this lap. Number 10, Norbert Mitchell, it's your race leader from Ted Bjork. Jensen Brickley doing a good defensive job from Victor Anderson. But while they're squabbling, they're hurting their overall race time, and that is not going to go well at all. By the way, Jan Erlichey finds a way past Ma Qinghua, away from our cameras. So Mar didn't fight that one too hard, did he? Jan back up in a 7th position. I've got a feeling it's a matter of time before Santiago Arrutia gives that one away as well. Erlichey needs every point he can get on his comeback charge. The reigning champion, of course. Let's have a look then. Will anybody take their joker on this occasion? Yes, they do. That looks like Jensen Brickley to me. And it also looks very, very slow for Jensen from this drone shot through the chicane. There we go, served and completed. So that's devastating for the Englishman. Down to 7th place now for Brickley. Moving up Victor Anderson to the bottom step of the podium. Victor already served his joker, though, doesn't he? Ted Bjork is going to be very, very much under pressure. Let's have a look where the Swedish driver comes back out. There's Jensen. Back on the racetrack in 7th, so he's found himself ahead of Mar. Whatever trouble Mar has had has cost him a place. That's when he lost that spot, wasn't it, to Erlichey a little bit earlier on. Look at Ted Bjork. Ted wants to get this done on the racetrack, doesn't he? Ted Bjork absolutely fancying his chances at this moment in time on the track. Remember, Ted, though, still has to serve the long lap, so it is still very much an opportunity. An opportunity for something to go well, an opportunity for something to go wrong. It's a street circuit, you've got to be brave. And I think Ted Bjork might well be better served just concentrating on lap time rather than squabbling. What was it last time around? A 2-minute 1.5 for Michelitz. It's going to be a lot slower this time as they're starting to engage in battle. Look how it's bringing Victor Anderson up. This is Norby playing the game, isn't it? This is Norby backing Ted up into the chasing pack, just getting Victor and getting Aurelian involved as well. And Ted, he's got to do something. He's got to do something quickly, hasn't he? Because if Norby keeps backing him up, this is going to disappear his gap. Oh! Anderson almost says hello to the tyre barriers, collects the car at the last possible moment. Victor Anderson senses opportunity as well, doesn't he? He's going to take this place away from Björk when he serves his joker. Ted really needs to get down and serve that joker lap now, doesn't he? The more time bottled up behind Noah Mitchell as he has, the more advantage he's going to have whittled away. Yes, he's got his Giri Sayon Racing teammates knocking about anyway. Is that Jensen Brickley going for a third joker? I think it might have been. What's JB doing? Marching Hua finds his way past. I'm sure that was Jensen Brickley doing the joker lap again. So timing screen said he did 1, then it said he did 2, and he's gone for 3 just to play it absolutely safe. Brickley down there in 8th position. Ted Björk though, look at this one. This might be one for the collector's items. This could be an on-track pass. Björk absolutely on the tippy toes now. So Norby playing the game, slowing down the car, trying to bring Victor Anderson, Aurelian Compton, everybody else into the fight. And it's working rather well indeed for Norby, isn't it? Let's have a look. Ted will be getting frustrated in the 111. Last time around, 2 minute 1.5. So still relatively quick then for Norby. He's slowing it down, but not by much. Just being cute on the games at this moment in time. Björk, he doesn't want Victor Anderson to start nibbling away at the back of that Giri preface, because, of course, when you're looking in your rear view mirror, you're not going quickly, and Björk will suffer from this one. He's going to get swallowed up by the 2SP competition Coopers, isn't he? And what a result that would be. Anderson and Compt, 2nd and 3rd. If they can see that one through to the line, it will be an absolutely monumental effort for Sylvain Poussier's team. Long way to go though yet. Let's not make predictions at this moment in time. Ted Björk still 2nd. Victor Anderson still in 3rd position. Aurelian Compt climbing over the back. There's a small mistake for Santi Urrutia. Takes the shortcut though, no problem on that occasion. He's got a teammate Aleshe still keeping a watching brief. There is Jan with the pink wing mirrors. Santi, just a small mistake, but they can have such a big consequence at a track like Villarreal. And again, Björk doesn't serve that joker lap on this occasion. He's leaving it late, isn't he, Ted? He's the only one of the front runners then that are still to serve their joker. Everybody else has served 2. Jensen Brickley's done 3, because why not? Brickley in 8th position, just ahead of Mikael Karlsson. Karlsson actually doing a good job to still be on the racetrack as well, isn't he, in 9th place. 10th place, Manuel Fernandez. Been a quiet race, out of trouble for Fernandez, but on home soil, inside the top 10 in a world-level FIA touring car race. Can't take that away from you. Absolutely sterling performance. Victor Anderson still doing a good job as well, isn't he, in 3rd. Really, Compt can't find a way past as the BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corse team nervously watch their man leading the race then. 13 laps of 16 in the books. It's Norbert Michelitz at the head of the field. Once again then, Ted Björk very close to the back of the 105. This is a dangerous game for Norby. Spent too long backing up the car into the field behind, and you may find a rat-a-tat-tat coming your way. So Norby needs to be careful. By the way, incident between car number 196, which is Miklav Kona, and 181, which is Santiago Urrutia, will be investigated after the race. Keep an eye on the TCR World Tour webpage, social media channels. Find out all the post-race investigations and insight, of course, at the end of this one. Right then, through we go again. The chicane is a nasty little chicane, isn't it? A little bit of red barrier there. Desperate. I'm sure that keeps moving out towards the cars. Absolutely desperate to try and catch everybody out, isn't it? Everybody, though, makes their way through. Let's have a look at the walking wounded at the back of the field. There was Manuel Fernandez in the 13th. Enzo Gianfratti for company as well. So a good little fight further down the running order. Spectacular fight at the head of the pack. And it's still Norby. Still the Hungarian driver. Lap number 14 of 16 ticked off then on the books for 105. He leads from Ted Bjork, but look at this one now. Victor Anderson, Aurelien Comte, Santiago Rutia, Jan Erlichey, all absolutely in the same conversation. Frederick Wallen, not impressed, it doesn't seem, by the tactics being employed. It's really hurting their man Ted Bjork, isn't it, Ted? You can see the body language of the car becoming, I don't want to say frustrated, because that sounds like a loss of composure, but definitely becoming agitated. There's the contact between the two. Unnecessary for the two race leaders. Norby has this one absolutely in the bag. That could have been a monster shunt. Good bit of driving there for Ted not to follow that one through into the inevitable. But Norby, oh, this is a dangerous game. This is more concerning than it needs to be for the Hungarian driver, Ted Bjork. He knows the clock is ticking. Let's have another look at this one again then. The 105, little bit late into the apex. Ted saw an opportunity. Norby went to cover, and Bjork, that little tap of the brakes is what stopped that car becoming an effective snowplow and sending both drivers straight to the scene of the accident. Intelligent driving there, brave drive, clever driving there for Ted Bjork. But Norbert Michelitz is doing everything in his power to make this one a heck of a lot more difficult than it needs to be. And now we'll look at Victor Anderson. He wants this one on track. He knows that Bjork's got to serve a joker lap, but it would mean all the more to Victor if he could get the deal done out on the tarmac, wouldn't it? And look at the number 10, harrying the back of Bjork. He would dearly love this podium, would Victor Anderson. He's been there enough times, hasn't he, with the ETS Guest Star Trophy Award win. Well, Victor would absolutely love to be on that podium again in outright as well. His first weekend for SP competition. Will Bjork serve the joker lap? No, he will not. Bjork then waiting till the very final lap, and that might be intelligent. That doesn't give Geely enough time to tell him to get out of the way of his teammates, so that might not be a bad one for Ted Bjork, trying to maximise his own personal opportunity. There at the back of your field is a slightly struggling looking Marchingois. Little bit detached from Jan Erlichey. There's Jan holding on to that 6th position. Not quite close enough to Santiago Urrutia. Will there be a phone call into Santiago to say your teammate is faster than you? Not much opportunity for that to happen. Look at Ted Bjork almost collecting the back of Norby Michelitz, soaking up the pressure. Lots and lots of stress on the shoulders. Gabriele Rizzo in the middle of your shot, the team manager at BRC. Really dearly wishing a hole would open up in the floor in which he could find himself crawling into. There is so much pressure on pit wall, nothing you can do now. You've got to trust your driver. Nobody knows what to do. He's been here before. He knows how to win motor races. He knows how to win championships. But Ted Bjork doing everything he can. Bjork has to serve his joker lap. When will he do it? There's a mistake for Norby in the chicane. These are dangerous times for our race lead. Norbert Michelitz and Ted Bjork side by side. Norby has the high ground. Norby stayed brave, keeps it on the racetrack. But look at Victor Anderson. Anderson wants to buy into this one. The lady there tried to get a better view. We've got the best seats in the house. Have a look at this one. Bjork defends the inside line. Anderson keeping his powder dry, thinks better of it. Aurelien Comte wonders where the opportunity might come. Lock of the tyres then for Norby, the Hungarian driver, absolutely on a charge. Bjork though, will he come and serve his joker lap? Will he do it on this lap? Will he wait for the absolute final opportunity? We're coming up to that moment in time now. Bjork still attacking. Norby still defending. The 105 holds the lead, and there Ted Bjork comes to do his joker lap. How much time is he going to lose? Victor Anderson for sure. Aurelien Comte as well. Then the gaggle of the Geely Cyan racing cars make their way through the shot, so Ted Bjork shuffles all the way back down into 7th position. Victor Anderson is now in 2nd place. Aurelien Comte moves up to the bottom step of the podium, and the final lap is on, and it's advantage Norbert Michelitz. SP competition looking good then. 2nd and 3rd place. Will they do a swapperoo for their man Aurelien Comte? He's here for the full season. Victor Anderson is just doing a bit of guesting. Comte would love the points, wouldn't he, for his championship charge? But look in the background. There's Santiago Rutia. There's Jan Erlichey. There's Marchingois. There's absolutely no wiggle room for any kind of behaviour. There's going to be a swapping of positions. It's going to be hard then for SP competition to do anything about it. But for Norbert Michelitz, it has been a dream race here at Villarreal. The Hungarian driver double champion, started this one from the reverse grid pole position, soaked up the pressure of the pack behind, was millimetre precise when it came to taking the Joker lap. The cards fell in his way, but you can only play the hand that you are dealt. And for Norbert Michelitz, the hand he dealt was a good one, and the game he played was done to perfection. Our double champion then, for the final couple of corners here at Villarreal, leads away the World Tour field. Victor Anderson, Aurelien Comte stay in that second and third position. Santiago Urrutia is currently in fourth through the chicane then. The final pressure point for the final time. Anderson almost collects the barrier, just showing how hard these drivers are pushing. Aurelien Comte thinking about that second place, but Norbert Michelitz at the head of the pack, looking good. There's still a question, there's still a story to be answered, I think, on this one. Who will come across the line in second position? Anderson or Comte? At the head of the pack, though, no such questions. Look at Norbert Michelitz, look at the checkered flag. He takes the win in round number 9 of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. Aurelien Comte and Victor Anderson swap positions right at the very line for second and third place, and then Santiago Urrutia holds on to that fourth place from Jan Erlechet. Marchingwa in 6th, Ted Bjork in 7th, Jensen Brickley in 8th position. Then it's Carlson and Manuel Fernandez on home soil. Manuel Fernandez will cross the line in 10th position for Vanin Motorsports. A great drive, a brave drive in front of friends and family, and an absolutely superb performance from these boys. BRC Hyundai and Squadra Corse, one of the best in the business for a real good reason. And Norbert Michelitz, absolutely one of the best touring car drivers of his generation, shows the world once again just how it's done. Brilliant performance from Norby, his first win since Mazzano, and now up to third in the World Tour standings. Brilliant stuff then. Celebrations all round for BRC. They'll be absolutely delighted with that one. It's a bit bittersweet though, isn't it? Mikkel Athkona only coming home in 12th place. And look what it does to the driver standings. 10 points now is Santiago Urrutia's advantage. Norby, 32 away from the title. 44, another 4 points gained for Jan Erlechet. And that second position does Aurelien Comte the power of good, doesn't it? The Frenchman up to 5th, just ahead of Ted Bjork. Marchingwa there, 7th in the standings. And despite the part season, Victor Anderson, 8th in the World Tour rankings. A great showing from the Swedish driver on his debut weekend for SP competition. While they're celebrating, though, it's all about BRC Hyundai and Squadra Corse, isn't it? And Norbert Michelitz. What a win, what a performance. And there's Manuel Fernandez, delighted for him, absolutely delighted for the 32-year-old Portuguese driver. His entire year has been about this weekend, racing on home soil, done himself proud. I think it's fair to say, well done Manuel, he's a good man. Is Manuel Fernandez, thoroughly enjoyed his company these last few weeks. He deserves that one as well, absolutely brilliant stuff. A finish on home soil, and an absolutely euphoric podium, I am sure. Aurelien Comte, second place for him. That'll go down very well indeed. Victor Anderson, first ever World Tour podium. Outright anyway. He's been on the podium enough times for the ETS trophy. Well, he's got to stand on there and get another trophy for the collection. Absolutely superb stuff. Third position then, change over at the flag. Orchestrated, of course, to maximise the points haul for Aurelien Comte. Santiago Urrutia, surprisingly, didn't have to give way to Jan Erlechet at the end. I know he's the championship leader, but Jan trying desperately to make a comeback after a difficult start to the year. Good result for Geely Cyan Racing as well. They'll be fairly satisfied, I think, with their day. To leave a Villarreal weekend of racing and all your cars are still in one piece and you still lead the championship, has to be considered a victory in anybody's book, doesn't it? Fabulous, fabulous scenes then. Here in Villarreal, the threatened rain even, never made an appearance, did it? And I'm grateful for that one as well. Stayed sunny, both proverbially and physically as well, didn't it? Great racing all the way through the field. Everybody's home safe. We've had a pretty decent way to entertain ourselves on a Sunday afternoon. I'm sure you'll all agree. Absolutely love motor racing. Brilliant stuff. Right then, confirmation as they crossed the line for round 9 of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. It is Norbert Michelitz, Aurelien Comte and Victor Anderson. Victor taking his 5th consecutive ETS Guest Star Trophy for round-by-round entrance. Santi Urrutia, Jan Oelische, Marcin Qua were the top 6. Ted Bjork, despite coming into that final lap in second, crossed the line in 7th position, just ahead of the 3 times through the long lap Jenson Brickley in 8th. Mikael Karlsson 9th, Manuel Fernandez 10th, Enzo Gianfratti and Mikel Azcona are the last of our classified finishers. 15 cars started, 12 took the checkered flag. Jimmy Claire, Stian Paulson being DNFs. Matthew Cachalonga and Daniel Teixeira failing to take the start. Looks a Mike Sweaty, does our Nobi, doesn't he? Bit warm in there, sunshine. I think he was. A better human being you're unlikely to meet than Norbert Michelitz. Good people is our Nobi. Massively quick racing driver. He's not had the run of form, a run of luck, should I say, this year. Well, it looks like it's turning around quite nicely, doesn't it, for Norby? Hit the middle part, started to hit his stride, just as we're about to take an 82-day break between now and our next round at Ingespedium on the 2nd to the 4th of October. But I mentioned this one right at the start of the weekend for FP1, all the way back on Friday. Coming in to a mid-season break, you want to hit it on a positive because you take that away through the summer holidays, all the way through. And if it's a good feeling, he'll feast on that for the next 83 days. If it's a bad feeling, that festers away a little bit, doesn't it, during the down period. So for Norby, definitely the momentum is in his back pocket, isn't it? It isn't for BRC Hyundai and Squadra Corse in general, actually. Mikel Azcona, despite the results, has been the slightly quicker of the two in these last couple of rounds, I think it's fair to say. Look at Manuel Fernandez still soaking in the crowds on his cool-down lap. Absolutely love that one. Taking every minute of it, mate. Every minute of it. It doesn't happen every day, and it's a big day in that young man's life. So Fernandez enjoying the adulation of the home crowd. Norby enjoying the adulation of his team. And he's about to enjoy our very own Alex Legui grabbing his shoulder and grabbing a quick few words with our newly minted race winner. There's a little bit of that's a nice kiss, isn't it, to say well done. It's not a bad life for Norby. Right, OK, let's have a look what it sounds like to be a race winner in race number 2. Alex has found Norbert Michelitz.
Norby Michelitz, you take your first win since the season opener in Misano, and after what has been a roller coaster season for you, that feels very deserved.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, my car was very good, very nice to drive. So I had the confidence to push in the beginning. Again, Joker Lab strategy was fantastic. So I need to say huge thanks to the team because I think we executed perfectly race 1 and race 2. And then, second part of the race wasn't easy. Ted was pushing. I did my best to stay in front because you never know. If he overtakes, he does the Joker, and then there is a safety car, then we lose the position. So I did my best. I was pushing, and I'm really, really happy.
Congratulations, well deserved.
Congratulations indeed then for Norby. A very, very well-deserved victory, and that gets his championship campaign absolutely well and truly back on track, doesn't it? It's been a difficult year for our 2023 and 2024 Kumho FIA TCR World Tour champion. That's in the past though. Eyes forward, eyes only forward for the rest of the campaign. Michelitz up to 3rd in the driver's standings. You can see the winner's part firme there for our drivers. This is confirmation then. Provisional, as always, until after all the race stewards' inquiries have been undertaken. But 10 points is all she wrote in the Drivers' Championship between Santi Urrutia and Mikel Azcona. Another 22 points in arrears is Michelitz. And there's Jan Oelische. Comeback continuing, isn't it, for Jan? Only 44 points back now. A couple of weeks ago, that looked a very different proposition indeed. Oelische game on for the 2026 campaign as he looks to defend his championship that he won in Macau last season. A few more driver names in there, of course. The World Tour has many different drivers joining us as we go all the way around the world. Some championships, some one-off drivers. So several drivers have their chance to get their name on the boards. But before the podium, folks, why don't we have a look at the highlights of the race that we've just enjoyed. There we go then, a frantic second race of the day, round number 9 of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour, and the second and final race here at the beautiful Vila Real Street Circuit in Portugal. It's great to be back again, of course, and I think Joe Clapp worked very well.
Hello.
Right then, time for the podium.
Welcome to our podium for race 2 of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. What a race that was. Please put your hands together and give a huge round of applause for SP Competitions' Victor Anderson. And a double whammy for SP. Let's put our hands together for Aurélien Comte. And your winner from BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corse, it's Nobby Michelitz. And representing BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corse, it's Daniel Borisov. And he's already on the podium. The winner of the ETS Guest Driver Trophy is Victor Anderson of SP Competition. And now for the Hungarian national anthem for Nobby Michelitz. The trophies. Ni Amorim, FPAC President, will present the 3rd position trophy to SP Competitions' Victor Anderson. Pedro Dias, Sports Secretary of State, will present the 2nd position trophy to SP Competitions' Aurélien Comte. And the Mayor of Villarreal, Alexandre Favayos, will present the winning trophy to BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corse's Nobby Michelitz. Jose Miranda Silva from APCIVR President will present the team trophy to Daniel Borisov of BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corse. Lydia Praka will present, or from IPDJ board member, will present the ETS trophy to the gentleman who's already up here. It's Victor Anderson of SP Competition. Well done, boys. Please come together for your official photograph. Grab those bottles. Grab the bottles. Champagne!
There we go then, podium closed for the weekend. The last race over and done with here at Villarreal. Norbert Michelis is your race winner. Absolutely incredible performance. Well done to SP Competition, Sylvain Poussier and the team. They always punch above the weight, and a second and third place is incredible stuff. Confirmation once again then of your driver's standing points after round 9 of 20. 10 is the gap between Mikel Azcona and Santiago Urrutia. Halfway point of the season over and done with. And we are absolutely game on for the year ahead, aren't we? Incredible stuff then. 2 absolutely fascinating races. As I started to mention before the podium, Joe Collapse. Love them or loathe them. They're absolutely brilliant. Worked very, very well indeed did this weekend. Absolutely incredible stuff. Thoroughly enjoyed that one. And I hope you did too. We're back in action again, of course. Rounds 10, 11 and 12 at Ingispedium is coming up on the 2nd to the 4th of October. How far away is that? 82 days. Can you believe it? 82 days away when we're back in action. I'm looking forward to that one. It's going to be a long break. It's going to be a long summer. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a nice relaxing summer holiday. Stay safe, stay fun, and make sure we come back again very, very soon indeed. Look at that one. Final few photos for our drivers. And I reckon that's about it, isn't it? Time to say goodbye. So as mentioned, 82 days until we're back again at Ingispedium. Wherever you are around the world, enjoy your summer holidays. Enjoy the break. Thank you for being with us for the start of the year. Paul Jeffrey up here in the commentary box. Alex Legui down there on the grid. The whole team behind the scenes. It's been a great start to the year. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And I look forward to seeing you all again at Ingy. October the 2nd to the 4th. Put it in your diaries. Until then, much love from us all. Until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Take care, and goodbye.